Hey Gemini, I'm Empress Rose and welcome to this week's general reading. So they're general, take what works, leave what doesn't. There'll probably be a couple different storylines or things coming through here. So if nothing resonates with you, check your sun. No, this is probably your sun. So check your moon, rising, and Venus for additional information. And all of these are pre-shuffled, and we're going to get the party started with Oracle Mystical Moments. For an intuitive vibe, what do we have for Gemini? I wanted to call you Juniper. Okay, Gemini. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. We have Night Ride and Miss Sunshine. So, and then we have Sleeping Beauty's Dream. So we have this Night Ride. So you're going through some unfamiliar territory. You have a very loyal protector here that's helping you go through this. This can be a spiritual protector or a person in your life. But you have someone very loyal to you who's bringing you through this. And I usually think of you as, so Gemini, the twins, you could be just this owl right up here. You could be trying to protect someone through a journey. There's a lot of protection vibe. Everybody's protecting somebody here. It's night, and so I feel like the owl has the vision, and the elephant, and it could be the owls are guiding the elephant through the swamp, because an owl could definitely fly through this. So I feel like there's like a really nice sort of give and take here, like a teamwork. There's a team going on here. We've got someone that's loyal, protective. So yeah, a whole little, and then someone that's got vision. So, and someone that can do the heavy lifting. So we've got a little bit of a team here. I like it. And Miss Sunshine is referring to having flipped a narrative. You were in darkness down here, not being able to see, maybe feeling some pretty dark things. There was it was a time of self-reflection, and you've sort of flipped it, and now you're going up. And we see this sort of divine presence pulling you up into a lighter way of being, into understanding and clarity. So you're leaving like a dark. So you've been on this dark ride, this ride through darkness where there hasn't been a lot of clarity. You've needed a bit of a team to pull each other through this. And then now you're heading up into a lighter place. Like you've been able to, you've flipped the situation around, and you're able to see more and be more inspired and feel your divine connection more. And this dark here, this night here, is still here with you. So actually I'm getting such a Gemini vibes off of this, because we have these two sides to her life. We have this darker side and this lighter side, the spirituality pulling her up. She hasn't left this behind. So, and then we have this light and this dark, these lighter characters and these darker characters. And then we have this night ride and the sunshine. So we're getting a lot of like, dualism and dual dynamics here. And then we have Sleeping Beauty's Dream. We have sort of a dream of protection, of safety. You're not talking about it yet, but you are dreaming of a place, a fortress, a place where you feel safe, where you feel protected, where it's got passion to it. It's not just I see protection here. I see this safety and protection as being something that's really on your mind right now, is wanting to feel secure, wanting to feel security in something. And then I just recently got this Moonology deck, and we're still working together and getting to know each other a little bit. So I'm not quite sure how it fits in here, but we've developed you're the last reading I'm doing in this set. We started out with not knowing anything, and now we're getting a lot better. So we'll see. I think this is the card it wants to give me. It's not, these cards don't jump out, but also just shuffling them, I don't know. So it seems like there's always one kind of poking out here. It's a little more subtle than these other decks. So what do we have here? Emotions are running high, super moon. I'm actually going to look it up. Sorry. Not sorry. I want to be accurate here. And I just make, and also like that. Oh, the answer is really obvious. and very so. Larger than life, bursting with energy. So we're seeing that with this Little Miss Sunshine, this really bright, brilliant light around her head. And so we're seeing this super moon, everything's super close up and super clear. So you're coming out of some darkness into some super duper clarity. All right. And then we're moving to the Santa Muerte. We'll see this probably, the last couple readings, this comes in so much clearer as the reading goes on. So, emotions are running high, super clear feelings about things, getting a lot of clarity and a lot of clear messages. So hopefully that trend is part of this reading. Okay, Gemini. Here's your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Love it. You've got the moon here. So in your recent past, you have this Hermit card. You have a period of isolation, being alone, choosing to be alone. As if it's a choice right now, but if you had the choice, you have chosen to be alone. Dealing with inner demons, possibly some addiction issues. There's a whole field of flowers around you, but you're definitely looking at your internal light, your own inspiration, your own soul. Look, though, we have the Hermit card and we have Night Ride. This is sort of this light in this darkness, this going through a dark period where there's darkness all around, and looking to your own inner light, trying to understand where you're at, where you're going. In your present situation, you have the Six of Wands. So what's funny is you have this darkness that you've been in, planted like a seed, and then here you have this, ta-da! This is parade energy. This is public energy. This is publicity. This is people praising you, really thinking you're wonderful and seeing you. You're being seen. And this is a vibe that we have here. We have this flipped. I mean, it just almost seems like a switch got flipped from this internal light to this external light, from looking within to having people seeing the work that you're doing and the work that you've done. And so I'm getting that from this. It's really a lot of light being shown on the situation, a lot of people seeing the situation, people seeing you, people honoring you, being rewarded for your work that you've done. So it's parade energy. It's like, haha, look at this. So that's in your present situation. There's some sort of parade. There's some sort of seeing what somebody's done. It might not even be you. It might just be this whole vibe around you as far as like praising, public groups. I hope you're not like jumping the gun and going out in big groups right now. But there's a sort of a group acknowledgement and a group happiness and a group relief vibe here. Excited. In your inner landscape, you have the Five of Swords. This is the, what is it? Jokers to the left, fools to the right. Anyway, something like that. So it's a Five of Swords, except it's a little more treacherous. So inside, your demons are within and you feel trapped inside. Either you go one way, it is a night, it's an internal night. So this reading is very external. There's this external celebratory vibe going on, but internally you're dealing with this, and then here came the inner demons, and they're all around you. You've got a sticky situation inside. You feel very trapped inside. There's something. So this has gone from being in your own vibe, in your own energy, hermit card. It's gone from looking within to this vibe of looking within, and there's a lot of danger within. There's a lot of inner demons here. You've got a gang of thieves that chased you into a canyon, and then when you get into the canyon, you think you're going to get out, you think it's going to be safe, and then but here's this other gang of thieves that's coming from the other direction, and then you've got walls. And so this is starting to see that you're not gonna get out of this unscathed, that you got to sacrifice. And I think you're seeing that you have to sacrifice some part of yourself, that there's some way that you're dealing with life that you need to change, and it's going to hurt a little bit. So you're not going to get out. Your inner landscape is starting to, you realizing that you can't move forward without sacrificing something. You can't move forward without cutting something out of yourself. So some sort of thing you've been doing or way you've been interacting with the world internally, you're starting to realize that you're going to have to shift some things around internally, and that is going to mean giving up something. At issue is this High Priestess. You're still on this night ride. Honestly, I feel like this Little Miss Sunshine is talking about a promise. You're envisioning it. So I think I need to order these a little bit like that. So you're in this night ride still. You definitely are. You're dreaming of feeling safe, feeling secure. I think this Miss Sunshine thing is a promise that you're going to be flipping the narrative, but you're still in the thick of it right now. Because we have this High Priestess. So normally the High Priestess is seeing wisdom, even in the darkness, seeking it. But the High Priestess to me is a little bit like, I know you came to tarot. I know you want to see the next thing. I know you want to see more clearly the situation, but I'm here to say that it's important that you not see, and my intention is that you not see, but my intention is that you keep looking. So normally we're continuing to look within, we're continuing to do our work, our internal work, working with our internal demons, we're working in the darkness, and the journey, this is almost, to me, this is tarot's way of saying that the journey to do that, to find that internal stuff is just as important, is more important to your guides right now than giving you answers. But this is, yeah, you're doing all this work and you're still not getting answers. You're still stuck and kind of freaking out here, and you're not. The issue is that you can't see what part of you needs to go, what part of you needs to be cut out, what way what beliefs, what core beliefs aren't serving you anymore. You can't see. You're having a lot of difficulty figuring out which of your core beliefs need to go, or what part needs to happen so that you don't feel that so trapped in this coffin anymore, and so trapped by your own thoughts and trapped by your own mind. You're not seeing it, even if you are. And I think this is saying you're not doing the work that you need to do. You might not be doing the work. You might just look like you're doing the work. You might have done the work in the past, and you're trapped right now. But this is saying you're either not doing it or it's not yielding any results. So your environment is the Page of Wands. There's some sort of message that's trying to get to you, and it's not. So in your environment, there's some withholding of information, withholding of a message. The page is very curious about communication, and it's just kind of curiously looking out at you. So it's a court card, so I believe it's probably a real person with an actual message for you, but they're not quite sure how to bring it to you. They're not quite ready to bring it to you, and it might be the thing that helps with this clarity. It might not. It might just be, it might be the thing that can help you flip the narrative, but it's also, so there is a message for you. It wants to come in. It's trying to learn and figure out how to come in. What's the best way to bring you this message? So there might be someone around you that would like to communicate, but isn't clear on how to do that. And your to-do list is the Moon. I mean, what I find so funny, so interesting, is this is like emotions are running high. Whatever you're feeling, the supermoon is super close, super bright. There's a lot of brightness. And then, but all in this deck, I just see darkness. So maybe this is saying like it is going to come in and it's going to be obvious. And it's going to be very crystal clear. You're not getting it right now, possibly because you're not doing the work you need to be doing to get the message. Or you are doing the work and it's just not coming yet. There's not, even in the darkness. But this is saying I think this is saying that something is coming, some clarity, some crystal clear information. I think this message might have to do with it, and this has to do with it. So with this card blocking, I'm saying that your to-do list, I don't think you have been doing the internal work right now. You might have let it slide. I don't know you, so I'm getting this message, so don't take it, if you're like, I've been doing the work, then you're in the camp that's been doing the work, and you're not getting a clear message yet. If you haven't been doing the work, your to-do list is to continue doing the work or to start doing the work. So the moon is reflection to me. It's not this. So I feel like this is where you're going. This is what you want. But this is self-reflection. So the moon reflects. The moon doesn't produce its own light. It's only ever reflecting light from the sun. And then this light is not a full light. It's partial, and it's being reflected in this pond. And then you're not even looking, you're looking at your reflection in the pond that the moon is in. And then you've got this cup here, this emotional situation that's also reflective. So you're being called into just layers and layers and layers of self-reflection. This is the only fleshed being in the deck, and she's seeing her skull. She's seeing all the way down to what's at the bottom of all of this. So I think it's really great when we're like, you know what, if I have a problem in my life, I can just fix it. I can just say, hey, this is the problem, and going forward, I'm not going to do it like this. And I think that works for a lot of things. But this is saying that something is blocking you, and you need to go back, because some things have to be unraveled from the beginning. Think of it as an equation that goes on for a really long time. If you get one of those beginning numbers wrong, your answer is always going to be wrong until you go back to the beginning and understand the sort of faulty thinking or the wrong answer. I mean, sometimes, especially as children, we misunderstood something or had shitty teachers, and it kind of got our mind thinking something incorrectly. So going back to point A, even though you think you're on M and you think the solution is to go to O, you're like, well, okay, well, I'll just go to O. I feel stuck at M, but I'll just go to O. This is saying you need to go back to A. Go back to A, because there's some sort of faulty thinking here back at A that is tripping you up and is causing this situation to be more stuck than it needs to be. Okay, you may have gotten this far by thinking that you understand the world and you understand stuff. This is saying go back, because there are some problems where you can just go M to O, and then there are other problems where you got to go M to A and then start on a whole different alphabet. So this is saying do that self-reflection, go back, reflect on who you are at your base level, your beliefs. There is muck back there, but it's gonna grow some lotus. I don't know why my phone has decided that every time I get a text message, it needs to stop recording everything. Why would a text message from the school district need to stop recording? I don't know, but my phone decided to do that. So anyway, so I need to go back to something at the beginning here and fix that. So this is self-reflection. Your to-do list is self-reflection. It's going to be clear. I feel like you're going to get really clear. And maybe this emotions running high is that your sense of being stuck and sense of being in the dark is really intense right now. It's the only thing that may be clear to you is that you don't like where you're at right now, and you don't like the feelings that you're having, and you don't like this sense of being stuck and trapped. And this is saying the way out of it is through a lot of self-reflection. And one of the things is that we can develop a certain perspective on the world that we either inherited or made up as children with our child mind, trying to simplify things. One of the best ways to have this reflection, have this mirror put up to you, is through a good therapist. They can very gently, a good therapist will be very gentle and kind about it, but they can hold up this mirror and say, look, they can help you go back to A and be like, I see. You need to go back to A, or you need to go back to C. You were on track there for a while, and then you need to go back to C. And I got very frustrated with someone once that was like, we need to go look at C now. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already at M. Keep up. We're going through this alphabet. Okay, so you just need to tell me where O is. And they were like, nope, you got to go back to C. And I felt like they were stupid and that they weren't able to keep up. And then I suddenly understood once I went back to C. I was like, oh shit, yeah, the mistake was way back there. in my thinking. So that's what this is asking you to do, is really do some self-reflection, get some help on that self-reflection if you're not getting clarity here. So I kind of think that you do need this protector to come in and this helper to come in and help you through this, but maybe not, you know, that's fine. So, I mean, if it's not for everybody, but there's some that just need help with an earlier step in this process, sorting that out. So a possible outcome is justice, a sense of fairness, a sense of balance. I see this balance coming in here. What's been unclear will become clear. Things will come into balance, and you'll be able to sort of harvest some level of clarity. There'll be some fairness and a balanced perspective coming in here. So maybe that's part of the internal issue that you're dealing with, is you just have an imbalanced perspective. So some fairness and some balance is going to come in. Some justice. It could be a resolution to an actual legal situation, or it could be some sense of fairness. Something's coming to you that's going to balance out this whole situation. And I think where you've had a lack of clarity, you will start to have some clarity here. And you'll be more in this balanced situation right here, where we're having the dark side and the light side more in balance, instead of being overwhelmed by this, by the darkness. So, because we have this hidden, and then we have this card about hidden stuff we can't see, and then this card of this massive clarity. So I feel like this justice card is going to come in and balance those two things out. So Gemini, I hope this was useful for you and helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes and comments and subscribes, and even your views. And I really appreciate it. And it's I really appreciate this, watching this channel grow a little bit by bit, week by week. I love it. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week, Gemini.